You've seen the fat shredding videos on YouTube and know it's just complete bullshit. You're promised the secret to fat loss, then you're given a Navy SEAL training routine, a diet that feels like it's prison food, and you just hate every single second of it. What if I told you that pain actually isn't gain, and I lost fat 2 times faster when I actually cut out this suffering? And in this video, I'm going to explain exactly how you can as well. Let's break down the entire easy to follow strategy, starting off with the first thing which you haven't been told by deceiving influencers, which is how to shred fat on autopilot. Easiest way to burn fat and to lose fat is just for the fat to burn itself off. You want your body to be shredding fat off on autopilot throughout the day. You can imagine your body as a pile of wood. Most people will wait till the end of the day and burn all this wood in like a big blaze, like a big session of cardio or a big restriction or this. But by that time, at the end of the day, your pile of wood would have been gone already if you had just set it ablaze slightly in the morning and throughout the day it kind of just burned itself. It's self-explanatory that everyone will make more progress if every day without doing anything extra, they lose an extra 1/4% of fat just normally. For me, it pushed me over the edge of skinny fat and finally got me lean when I incorporated this. Having fat melt off while I worked, slept, ate, lived, and just went through my day to day. My body actually worked for me instead of just being itself or working against me. The thing that I used to do, which I see everyone doing, is eating specifically for weight loss, which is kind of what I mentioned earlier, the prison diet. This involves, insane restrictions, suffering, purchasing all these extra low-calorie food options, then of course having to track the calories, and just my whole life revolved around eating for weight loss. And what did it lead to? Massive inconsistencies with cheat days, these massive crash outs I would have eating a bunch of food, and on top of that, I just hated the whole thing. That's not what life is meant to be like, constant autistic tracking. So at the end of the day, when you actually do that, yeah, you probably will lose weight, but most of it is just going to be lost muscle. And you've probably seen that this muscle loss diet is the only way to lose fat. It's the only thing that people push on you. And it's honestly not your fault. I thought the same thing. But what I switched to, which allowed me to lose fat naturally 24/7, was specifically a natural whole foods diet. No processed food, including those low-calorie options that you see online, no junk food, nothing that is not natural, aka from the earth, found in nature, and a whole food, just one ingredient. The reason this works is because processed food and nutrient devoid food both have just act for your body to kind of destroy your hormonal health, destroy your gut health, destroy all the things that are actually responsible for you to be able to get to a naturally good physique. Your ability to shred fat at a biological level is impaired. And when you don't incorporate this and take this into account, you kind of deceive your body into just shredding it through the extra effort. But the way to make it work on autopilot is through the biological shredding of fat, which a natural whole foods diet will allow for. Meat, dairy, eggs, veggies, seafood, fruits, natural sugars is what 90% of your diet should consist of. There's always going to be some inconsistency, but 90% is a really good benchmark. And this is also quite literally cheaper and easier than buying any other kind of food. You're just buying ingredients, your grocery bills will go down, which is just kind of a nice side benefit on the side. Natural whole foods are the first step to easy fat burning and kind of like the base layer. From there, to dial it even more in, is you can start naturally restricting your caloric intake and lowering it. Not the online movement of starving yourself with massive restriction, but by making simple switches throughout your day. Instead of fattier cuts of meat, opt for leaner ones. Instead of higher fat dairy, opt for lower fat dairy. Instead of drizzling all that extra oil on your pan, just try to reduce that. Instead of snacking on dates, snack on something lower in calories naturally, like grapes or like watermelon. It's all about taking out those extra bits of flavor through the fat, which you think you need, but you really won't feel the difference without them, but they will stack up in order to get you leaner effortlessly over time. Now, this is how you should be approaching caloric restriction. When I started implementing these, I effortlessly reduced my calories by like 300 to 500 a day without any extra suffering. Now, the final cherry on top is you've definitely thought about, are there specific foods for fat loss? Are there special things I can eat? A magical food is gonna help shred fat off my body. And there actually is not one, but there's a lot, and they are in the form of natural sugar. The more natural sugar which you consume, the higher your metabolism is going to be, the higher the rate at which your body converts energy and uses energy is going to be, and thus you will be shredding fat even easier. It's going to boost your metabolism, support your thyroid gland, which is just going to allow you to shred through fat faster. So eat a plethora of natural sugar, as much as you want throughout your day. Preferably in the form of fruit, probably low calorie if you are looking to dial in even further. Now, when I started doing this, I was coming from a place of thinking too much sugar is bad, it's not going to be good for me. Fruits are actually extremely nutrient dense, and the natural sugar has no negative impact on your body. If anything, only good, it's going to reduce all the stress in your body, the cortisol. There's a lot I could talk about on this topic, but just trust me, when you feel like snacking, when you feel like cheating on your diet, have fruit, have as much natural sugar as you want. So now you have modified your biology to shred fat on autopilot. The next step to fat loss from here is going to be accessibility. You need to have a cardio or a training routine which you can commit to anytime, anywhere, which is always accessible. This way you're gonna be able to commit to it long term. And I fell for the cardio trap that everyone falls down. You think you need to be using the treadmill and the Stairmaster for hours every week, training with high reps and high sets and high intensity, all this. And I did this for quite some time. Trained like a Navy SEAL just to shred off some belly fat. I hated it, I suffered, and I committed way more time than you probably even have to commit to it. It was a complete waste of time, and your time is way more valuable than that, which you don't even have to start because it's just hours upon hours every day. Maybe only 5% of the population has the time to commit to this, so most won't even start, and those who do will end up hating it and probably just give up. The outcome is zero fat shredded. So when I committed to an activity, a training that I could do anywhere, anytime for fat loss, no matter how I felt, what I was doing, I was able to commit to it long term and actually make progress by putting in the work day by day instead of doing nothing, intense cardio, nothing. I was doing a bit every single day, and that really added up over time. Something that becomes a way of life and you don't hate. And the easiest way to accomplish this is actually through walking. And you've been lied to and told that this doesn't work. So like how I used to, you ignore that advice, you go do one session of cardio and then you act like a bum for the rest of the day. You actually burn more calories when you don't even exercise throughout the day. And this is because studies show that on average, those who do that one intense set of cardio, they have a much lazier lifestyle. This means that on average, the person who's walking around all day, living actively, not sedentarily, actually burns more calories than the person who does one set of this and then goes and becomes a couch potato for the rest of the day. So an active lifestyle full of steps is going to get you leaner without the added suffering and the fact that you can do it every single day. And walking really is something you can do anywhere, anytime. If you're not doing anything, if you're scrolling on your phone, you can get up and walk while you scroll on your phone. You can call your friend while you scroll on your phone and you walk, or you can listen to music while you walk. You can always just get up and move. You really only need maybe a 30-minute walk every day on top of having an active lifestyle, and you can use that walk time to do something else which you have already done. It is completely effortless, and it's completely suffer-free, and it will give you a tremendous amount of progress, like results. You don't need discipline, you don't hate it, you just walk slowly and you watch the fat melt off day by day in the mirror. An active lifestyle becomes like a constant stream of water. When water is flowing even super slow, it's gonna stay clear. That is what an active lifestyle gives you. The water stays clear, but when water stops flowing, it becomes sedentary, and suddenly disease comes, all this bad stuff comes. So no matter how slow the water is flowing, it's gonna be clear because it's moving. Just keep moving, keep pushing, keep walking. Same principle comes when you actually train in the gym for muscle gain on top of your fat loss. You want a routine that you're able to commit to anywhere, anytime, that actually gives you the highest progress for the amount of time that you're putting in, the highest return on interest. And I've made 2 routines, my at home and my gym routine, which tick all those boxes, and I'll link those at the end of this video if you stick around for that. I highly recommend you check them out. Now this brings us to the final point of the video, which is something that people don't realize that they could be doing, which is costing them a lot of progress. And that is going to be leveraging your surroundings. The little things in your day-to-day can either be used to skyrocket your progress or be the secret reason that you are not making it. Imagine walking forward the whole time, but you're on a treadmill, right? It's gonna feel like you're making progress, but you're actually gonna stay in one spot because your lifestyle is pushing you back as you're walking forward the whole time, right? Like your surroundings. Now you can also imagine walking on a treadmill that's going in the same direction as you, right? Like they have on airports, they have those like fast track thingies. Now you're gonna feel like you're walking at a normal speed, but it's gonna be projecting you much faster. And that is the effect that leveraging your surroundings has. For me, I was working super hard and felt stuck. And then I realized that was the actual key thing that was missing, which got me past what 90% could not. In order to leverage your surroundings, you need to adapt to natural-based living. All our modern day chemicals, perfumes, body washes, shampoos, things that we put in our skin products are riddled with toxic chemicals. These chemicals are wrecking your hormonal health, lowering your testosterone, the ability to put on muscle, your energy, your drive, the actual motivation to go and do work, and making you overall less healthy and just feel terrible. They are the reason that you have no energy and no drive to work out in the first place. So fixing that is literally going to make you able to work out and get into shape more. I was using probably like a 3-step skincare routine or something when I was younger. You know, I wanted to look good, saw the people all night were telling me to do to look good, the whole looks maxing movement, everything, body washes, shampoos, fragrances. It was horrible. When I swapped out of that mindset, of that consumer mindset, of that trend, adopted to natural products, olive oil, soap, things that are natural, that have been used for thousands of years, reduce the amount of exposure of chemicals on my skin, in my system, I promise you, leveraging your surroundings like that is going to help you make much, much, much more progress. These little things stack up over time to absolutely dial you in. On top of that, just living as close to nature as possible is a good standard to go by. The closer you are to nature, the more healthy you're going to be, the easier it's going to be for you to shred fat. So the easy method to shredding fat composes of shredding fat on autopilot, having a routine which you can, and an activity which you can commit to anytime, anywhere, and fully leveraging your surroundings. So if you want to make double the progress on your fat shredding, you have 2 options from here. Option number 1 is going to be continue down the same path of excuses, suffering, online misinformation, and ultimately no progress. Never seeing your full potential, and honestly, your time is way more valuable than having it wasted on this or on that, or not even having it to put into actually getting into shape and seeing your full potential. You need to realize your lifestyle, circumstances, experience, starting position mean nothing and absolutely cannot hold you back in any way when it comes to getting into shape with the right guidance. Which leads us to option 2, which is to work with me through my one-on-one coaching program in order to get into the best shape of your life. Shredding fat on autopilot through a custom tailored diet for you, for your circumstances, on top of gaining muscle as well, and energy levels optimized, health optimized, customized, committal, highest return on interest routines for your progress, and leveraging your surroundings and lifestyle as much as is humanly possible for you, and much, much more. Ultimately getting you jacked and healthy easily. Now you can book a call with me, first link in my bio, completely free of charge, just to see if we're a good fit to work together. If anything, I'll just shoot you some free advice, so it's definitely worth a try, and I do hope to see you on there. First link in my bio. And other than that, that is going to wrap it up for this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please subscribe and leave a comment. I respond to all my comments. So I'm going to link the 2 videos here on the workout routines I mentioned earlier. And yeah, have a great day or great night. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.